I recently overheard someone saying, "My friend and I are both Virgos. Why are we so different?" If astrology is valid, how can two people with the same sun signs be so different? This question exemplifies one of the most common and erroneous public perceptions of astrology. One of the biggest mistakes people make about astrology is believing that in astrology your personality and every experience in your life is predetermined by your sun sign. Some basic Virgo characteristics. Rarely do two Virgos display the same combination of characteristics in the same manner. Much of how they come across is related to their rising sign and its associations with other signs and houses. A sun sign is to astrology as flour is to a cake. Yes, it's the main ingredient, but you don't have much of a cake with just flour. You also need butter, sugar, and flavors like chocolate and vanilla. Notice this sun symbol has a lot of other friends in the circle. Actually, each of the planets is represented, as are each of the signs. And each one of us has all 12 signs represented in our chart. And we have all the planets associated with those signs. Let's look at Virgo's Oliver Stone and Tommy Lee Jones. They're both born on September 15th, 1946, though Oliver Stone was born at 9:58 a.m. in Manhattan, New York, and Tommy Lee Jones was born at 10:57 p.m. in San Saba, Texas. Since they were born the same day, the planets in their chart are in the same signs, so parts of their general makeup will be similar. But because their planets reside in different houses, these two men will also display many differences. The ascendant, or rising sign, is a very sensitive point. Our ascendant and first house, determined by the time and place of our birth, describe the persona or mask we project and act as a window. Although through it the world sees us, we can also see the world. It's both the face we present to others and the filter through which we view everything. Oliver Stone has his ascendant in intense, contained, erotic Scorpio, a sensitive, vulnerable, and sympathetic water sign. Scorpios have deep feelings but do not necessarily speak them to others. With Venus in Scorpio, in his first house, he likes being a little dark, mysterious, and controversial. With his 11th house Sun and Mercury, whether fact or fiction, his films always focus on some aspect of humanity's trials, tribulations, and triumphs. Stone's classical ascendant ruler is 12th house Mars with Jupiter in Libra, so his drives, desires, and inner motivations are very powerful, and he's always concerned with what is just and fair. He's dogged in investigating the dysfunctions of humanity, but Mars here also makes him his own worst enemy in how he comes across to others. His ascendant has a harsh relationship with its modern ruler, Pluto in Leo, which is up by his midheaven. This means that he has often found his personal interests and concerns at odds with what the movie moguls believe will succeed at the box office. Actually, this has been one of his most persistent struggles in life. For example, two of his films in the 90s focused on ex-presidents of the U.S., JFK and Nixon. Both films were highly criticized, mostly to people feeling that Stone was basing the story on his point of view. Critics felt the films were too biased, that the facts were steered away from, and that too much focus was placed on conspiracy, as well as Stone's own perspective. Tommy Lee Jones has an ascendant in Aries Gemini, so it's extra important that he be able to clearly communicate and appear to be a good listener. He needs space and tends to distance himself from others with a congenial coolness. Since the ascendant ruler is Mercury in Virgo, conjunct the Sun, The Virgo characteristics will be more prominent with Tommy. This is further emphasized by the Sun being with Mercury. With the ascendant ruled by this earthly combination, Tommy has a practical mind and limits hobbies and occupations to those with a specific purpose or outcome. Tommy's emphatic Virgo qualities, particularly those related to preparedness and efficiency, have irritated some of his co-stars and co-workers on the set. Though some consider him exacting and perfectionistic, Tommy has enjoyed an exemplary career playing difficult and complicated characters on screen. Hopefully, this snapshot of Oliver Stone and Tommy Lee Jones, two wonderful Virgos, provided some hints as to why two people with the same sun sign, and even those born on the same date and year, can be very different.